to actually mitigate the growth, the potential growth we're expecting to get from the agriculture sector. Okay. And I'm going to be asking you in particular if there's any African country that has successfully, done irrigation farming, and how Nigeria can actually learn from such a country. Well, you're still watching Business Morning on Channels Television, and we're broadcasting live from Lagos, Nigeria. Today, our conversation on the program is around the agricultural sector, but we're looking at how the effects of climate change can actually mitigate this growth that we've actually been expecting and hoping will happen very soon. And I have with me on the program the chairman of Okweoluwa Integrated Farms, Biodun Oladapo. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning on Channels Television. We're broadcasting live from Lagos, Nigeria. Today on the program, our conversation is on agricultural development and the effects of climate change. And I have here with me the chairman of Okweoluwa Integrated Farms, Biodun Oladapo, and we've been discussing this for the past couple of minutes, and he's still here with me in the studio. Thank you so much, Biodun, for sticking around. But just before we went on that break, we talked about everything, or most of what the federal government is doing, and what the challenges the farmers are facing as regards irrigation farming. Now, I'm very sure that there are some countries, even though some of these countries in Africa were also mentioned in the report by the World Bank as regards possible facing of drought between now and the next couple of years. But are there any countries here in Africa that have successfully done irrigation farming? And what lessons can Nigeria learn from them?
I think the world successfully done irrigation farming, we have to talk about relative success.
Okay.
Because we should not forget the fact that Nigeria is still a clear leader in the African continent. So virtually everybody is still looking towards Nigeria as a leader to guide them in making things happen on the other hand. Then when we look at the issue of droughts, and when we look at the issue of farming, we should not look at farming as just thing relating to only crops. Farming cut across even livestock and the like. So, because if you are having issues with, drought, we are now looking at issues that have to do with even weather itself. Because virtually all these crops require particular range of weather for them to be able to bring out the best yields in the year. So, when we look at the country that are able to really do it, I cannot imagine any country for now in the entire Africa, not even South Africa, that we can say they have succeeded in getting all their needs, met. Not because they still have to really import a good percentage of things from Nigeria, even South Africa, and South Africa happen to be the commercial hub of the Africa. Now suddenly Ghana is now coming up. I was in Ghana about 3 weeks ago, able to release something, and I will still be there from 24th to November 4 when they are doing their ECOWAS trade fair. So a good number of countries in the West, in Africa generally, don't have the capacity. Even if they have the will, they don't have the capacity, financial capacity, infrastructure capacity, to be able to really handle this drought issue effectively. I'm not sure.
So does Nigeria have the financial capacity and infrastructure capacity to handle it? Are they getting enough backing from the bank, from the financial sector, namely the banks and the rest of it?
That's another, another big issue on its own, funding. How can anybody go to the bank and borrow at about 30% and you want to go into farming? It's not done. It's not done. And like I said at the beginning of this discussion, that even America, farming is heavily subsidized. Heavily subsidized. If they can subsidize petroleum products, I'm of the opinion that farming will have been even the first one to be subsidized. Heavily.
Okay, so for such a project,
yes,
can there be collaborations between 4 or 8 companies to ensure that irrigation farming is promoted as much as possible? Because, you see, there must be something, there must be some signals that the World Bank has gotten or is seeing that makes it to give this forecast. It's not on the mere whim or that they bring out such a report.
It's about a report of
so if we see that this report has said that there's a possibility that there's going to be drought between now and then, shouldn't farmers be coming together to see how much they can protect themselves against a situation like that? Because don't forget, apart from the fact that they're going to be putting food on the table, they're also going to be making money for themselves. Now, we don't want to see an escalation, like you said, of prices. Like right now, you say we are buying a ton of maize for 55,000 naira. Before it was, at earlier part of the year, was 90,000 naira. And there's a possibility it could cross 100,000. So shouldn't farmers be coming together to work together to see how much they can save themselves and others who actually benefit from them in terms of irrigation farming? Because you see, they say, sorry to cut you there, funds are a challenge. But if more than 5 people pool resources together, you have a very big bank that you can, at least not so big, but big enough for you to work with a particular project.
Let's look at it this way. Farmers are there as a business concern. Is looking for the higher rates on its investment. So it is government that needs to be getting worried, and sincerely getting worried, that it should be able to feed its own teeming population, not the individual farmer. The individual farmer is willing to make maximum profit from his investment. If I'm able to sell my maize for 200,000, 300,000 naira per ton, so be it. So, but government know for sure that they cannot afford to get things to escalate to such a level, because it's going to really create serious crisis, political, social problem, and also many other problems going to really ensue from such a thing. When people cannot eat, there's nothing imaginable they cannot, dabble into.
Okay, but how much support has the state government given to projects such as this?
Well, the state governments, they will try to do the best they could, but I'm not too sure if there's any state government now that is thinking seriously about such a thing.
Well, I'm very sure some states in the north are, like Bauchi and Kebbi and the rest of it, where we get all the tomatoes coming from.
I'm saying now, when you look into the percentage of the requirements and what they are getting, is it sufficient? That's the question. Because if you need 100 naira now to invest in certain thing, and somebody gives you 2-3 naira, certainly you cannot be getting the same result that you wanted to get if you have really invested the 100 naira. I don't know if I put it right. Because this thing costs a lot of money. For you to effectively process your plants when they come out and store them, I'm too sure it costs a lot of money and costs a lot of technical skill as well, which is not easy to come by.
So at what point are we going to see if it possibly happens and most farmers are hoping to maximize profit from the situation at that particular point in time.
Okay.
If we have the machines